Hello and welcome to all you lords and ladies of fate. You have once again found yourselves in the self-proclaimed only Twitch TTRPG stream that allows you, the viewers, to significantly impact the stories being told on your screens. In order to do so, you must spend fate chips. Those are our loyalty points that you can earn just by watching, following, hosting, subscribing, or even for just engaging with us and hanging out in the chat. Use those fate chips to heal your favorite characters, summon in custom items, make the player say silly things, sing songs like a Disney princess. I like that one. Or even summon in random encounters. Tonight we are playing Conan, Adventures in an Age Undreamed of by Modiphius Entertainment. I'll be playing the part of Crom, who cares not for your worries. Joining me tonight, though, we have an amazing cast featuring our moderator, man behind the scenes, and genius that keeps us up and running now. We have Verai, the shadowy tea-drinking assassin. We have Thornicius, the Bostonian archer and ranger. We have Zinnia, the mercenary queen. We have Sang, the emissary from far-off tea-drinking Kitai. And last but not least, we have Abertak, our zealous witch hunter.
Hunter of tea-drinking witches.
Hunter of tea-drinking witches, he says. Because witches get kettles.
Yep. That's what they make
Everybody knows a good witch has a good kettle. We find ourselves in a interesting situation at the end of our last episode. You see, the party has gone after some slaves to help out a gem mine, really to help out a noble who's trying to make a trade agreement with the gem mine and show to his dad that he's, not a fool. So they found these slaves hiding in a secret cellar in a farm in the middle of nowhere with a strange cultist named Skeen, a cultist of Solapetha. Solapetha of the crescent sun. Solapetha, the one who walks with you in the darkness. Ooh, I forgot to pull up one of my pages that I needed. I'll get it in a second. And so they went down, they talked, they paid money for some gems to try to give proof of death by returning the gems. And as they were getting ready to leave this hidden cellar safe house, there was movement in the fields around. Only part of the party was in the safe house, though. Half the party went to the safe house. The other half was just hanging out in the fields over there on the side of a hill, staring at the stars, enjoying the moonrise. And here is where we will begin. So, here we are. It's nighttime. You guys have just come up out of the cellar. All three of you did come up out of the cellar, right?
Yep. Well, I did.
Yeah. You had just told the two farm kids, walk to the house, warn your family, get ready for fight.
Correct.
And they had begun to very nervously, kind of skittishly, very stiff-backed like, walked to the house.
Kids and their poker faces.
Yeah, terrible poker faces. And our screen is all nothing but white here on the Twitch stream. That's interesting. It's a very bright night, apparently.
When the moon hits your eyes, it's so feet so high.
That's Sophierans. When the slaves run from mines and the mercs try to
Find.
that's Sophierans. Bows will sing, twang a twang a twang, and we'll see arrows thunking.
Not quite yet. But soon. Dude, that was my life.
All right. So, as these figures are doing a good, probably 250-degree loose circle around the farm, for those of you that are, the two of you that are still out, that would be the ranger and the emissary. You can't get a good count. You had an observation check, so you saw them. You even saw that they were people that you did see. At a rough guesstimate, you're thinking upwards of 40.
Doesn't look good. Is there any high ground whatsoever around this farm?
Rolling hills.
Okay. But nothing.
Rolling hills.
Nothing that's gonna give me a great advantage, I guess. I whisper to Zhang. I say, look, we may have to create a exit for our friends, and at least give this family a chance against this kind of force. But I say that we concentrate, getting a straight path through these people, and then cover them as they're coming out. But there's no way I can send that signal to them. I asked Zhang if there's any way he could.
I'll whisper back, just hold, wait until we are needed. We can use this as the element of surprise.
Right, exactly.
Now we have screen. Actually, good to note on that. It should be doom of 15. Yep. All right, so for the three of you that came up out of the cellar, are you just hanging out?
Well, waiting until the kids get out of harm's way, at least. So clearly, people are trying to encircle around us. The rest of our party is out in the wilderness. So we can assume that they'll be waiting for a word from us, because if they're not caught already, then they'll be not, they'll do their best not to get caught. So I'm up for waiting for whoever is leading them to come identify why it is they're seeking us out, or if they're seeking us out or somebody else. That's my thought. Abertac, Xenia, what do y'all think?
I've got Living Shadow.
So I would find cover for you. That would give you the element of surprise.
I'm trying to remain unseen or unnoticed. I gain bonus momentum equal to the ranks in this talent.
You have Living Shadow?
Uh-huh.
So do I.
Ah.
I only have Dying Shadows.
I don't see Living Shadow. I see it on his. Or did wait? I don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am over his.
I'm like, you're not the stealthy one here. You're the stabby one.
Sorry, I thought I clicked mine.
If you don't know which character it is, just look down.
It's still...
Abertac, Abertac.
I'm acting casual, hanging out near the safe house area. They don't seem to have seen us, or we don't know. They haven't gone, hey, there's people. Like,
There has not been any alert raised, but you were the one that spotted the movement in the fields, running a loose semicircle around. You couldn't say 40 people. You just see a lot of movement in the fields in a very loose semicircle around, converging on your general direction. I think you only had one success, so you didn't actually spot like the folks.
yeah, no, I'm just thinking. Ugh. There was a main road that kind of led here, right?
Do what?
Whatever the main road was or pathway that we took here.
Yeah, there's a road that comes into the front of the house, and then from the house there's some footpaths that come to each of the barns and the silo.
Can I take a page out of Zenya's book and try to go Living Shadow?
You absolutely can. Just tuck up, take some cover up in some of the shadows and the darkness.
Yeah. So
Well, yep.
let me roll for it. Stealth 14.
I'm also going to become a living shadow by painting myself black and white.
So what Living Shadow does, it gives you a bonus momentum per rank on attempts to remain unseen or noticed, which means you basically get a free dice on any checks to remain unseen, unnoticed. So go ahead and roll a third one.
Okay. Two successes.
2 successes. Yeah. That's pretty good. You tuck up out of sight. You know, you kind of just whistle, trot, and then fade into the shadow behind the half-constructed barn.
But nicely painted.
But painted green, yes.
I'm gonna walk towards the main road, like I don't see them.
So kind of like towards the house-ish, and then over, and
yeah, as if I were headed to the main path to leave, just like I don't see them.
Xenia?
Since I don't have the living shadow. Can I use my sharp senses?
May re-roll a 1d20 when making an observation test. So yeah, I mean, you could make an observation check to start looking around into the fields. I will say at this point, the kind of observation that you'll be doing.
Oh, wait a minute. Can I change that?
Hmm?
Strategist?
When assisting with setting up or seeking ambush, or when assisting artillery as a spotter, may add warfare dice pool instead of a single die 20.
Does that mean I have to actually be in ambush?
No, you can actually, if this is an ambush, you can suss that
So
out.
yeah, that you may use warfare instead of observation if you wish. You add warfare dice pool. However, your warfare is lower than your observation.
Oh. Never mind. Sorry. I'm learning.
Oh no, you're good.
Okay.
So roll me an observation check. As you start looking around, like, wait a minute. Let me look here. What do I see in this here darkness?
Oh. Oops.
That's a success, but you get to re-roll one because of your sharp senses. All right, you made 2 successes. Oh, actually, wait a minute. That's 3 successes because that first one was a 2. That is 3 successes. So as you're standing here in this half-constructed barn, you get up kind of onto a higher platform of this construction. Not really quite like the second floor because there is no second floor, but you kind of get up onto a little bit of a higher level of this construction debris, and you start looking around. And so, like, here's the farm, and here's the barn, and here's the other barn, and here's the silo, right? You get a very clear view from your slightly elevated vantage point. They are coming in almost everywhere other than the far side of the farm from where you are right now. And when I say they, you see dozens, multiples of dozens of them coming from many directions. And at 3 successes, here's something that's strange. Very quiet dogs.
Very quiet dog.
Some of them are being pulled by hounds, leashed hounds pulling them. And usually when a hound is on the hunt, they're braying and barking, but not these hounds.
Mm. So I turn to Abertac and Verai. And
Abertac has walked away, and Verai has disappeared.
oh, well, what?
What?
Well, what happened?
Hey guys. I
I'm
whispered.
moving casually like I don't see him.
How far are they away from me?
Floating tea.
We're behind the line of people moving forward into.
You don't see where your allies are, but if they are where there's another team, if they are where you left them, then the line has already passed them and is now between you and your allies.
They probably betrayed us. You know how they are.
It would be a little surprising if they weren't spotted, considering how broad this line is and how many people there are, and there's dogs.
Okay.
But I am a sneaky bastard.
I could try talking to them.
Well, right now, none of them are in sight or intending to be visible. They are closing the net around the farm.
Well, I'm gonna go hide. I'm gonna say where I am. They can't see me up there.
Well, they can see you right now while you're standing up here looking around.
Then I get down.
And get down. Roll me a stealth check, please.
Don't fail this.
Hey, don't put the
It's too bad you don't have Living Shadow. And that's 1 success. Is your armor heavy?
Oh, come on now. It's chainmail bikini.
Her armor is heavy and noisy. That is I believe that makes any difficulty checks increased by 1. Let me double check that, but I believe that is difficulty checks increased by 1. I believe that is difficulty checks increased by 1. Tempting stealth of any type in this armor is likely to fail. If your character is wearing noisy armor on 2 or more hit locations, the difficulty of all stealth checks is increased by 1 step. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, you very loudly, reflectively, and shinily in your bright steel silvered mercenary queen armor hop off and you hide yourself in a door frame, in the frame itself, not around the corner of it. You're like, they'll never spot me in the door frame. Unfortunately, there's a lantern over there that's just right reflecting off of you that you didn't see.
Dang it.
Stupid lanterns.
Gosh darn it. I knew I should have went for the leather.
Black leather's always cool.
And at that point, they realize they've been made. Because they saw you, and they saw you failing to hide, and they realized they had been spotted.
Huh.
And everybody now sees dozens, 30 of them, 40 of them now, sorry, let me rephrase that. You hear a call. One of them hollers something, some sort of command. And you see dozens of them, 30 of them, 40 of them stand up now from crouching through these fields, sneaking through these fields, stand up and begin trotting in.
Linguistics check.
Ophirin, for those of you that speak Ophirin, is Oh, actually, wait a minute. No, not Ophirin. Not Ophirin. These ones are.
Did I need to roll?
For any, if you do not speak Kothian, roll to a linguistic check to tell if you can identify that it's Kothian.
The language of witches, I see.
One success, it's enough. You recognize that it's Kothian. Koth is the next country kind of to the southeast, a little more barbaric nation.
You cheat. Oh, do not. Yes, you do. You look all this stuff up.
And yeah, 30 or 40 or more of these guys now come running, stand up and are no longer trying to hide as they move in towards the household and the farm. Weapons drawn, some of them shields, some of them bows. However, they don't seem to be moving in for the attack. The ones with the bows are not firing their bows at you. But now that they have been spotted, they rush quickly to build a loose semicircle around the farmhouse and the barns. Do you take any preemptive action while they are getting into position?
What up?
I will pull out like all 5 of my loads of arrows, and I'm just like setting up, getting everything ready to. I can just quick shoot. Yeah, just pull.
I'm trying to get on the outside of the semicircle.
Roll me a stealth check.
Another one? Okay.
Yep, one more stealth check. Since you're moving to a new position.
Where did that desk in the middle of a farm come from? And why is Verai hiding behind it?
Dogs found me.
Well, you do have living shadow, so you get a third dice.
We're about to have dying shadow at this rate.
One success.
One success. Which is at least good enough to not be caught. However, you do not make it outside the line. You make it basically to the line, but you don't make it through the line. Ooh, offline. I think we just went offline. Nat.
Yeah, we're frozen. And offline.
Lost signal for a sec. I don't
Maybe
know.
it's because of the interplanetary and sanitarium.
Intergalactic,
No.
planetary, intergalactic.
I didn't say any of those things.
Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Another dimension, another dimension, another dimension, another dimension.
Can you kill him?
There. All right. We are back. Sorry, folks. Technical difficulties. And it's not muted. Now it's muted. That was weird. I was hearing my own echo and I didn't like it. I like it. All right. So yes, you snuck up to the line. Xenia goes, "Hi guys."
Oh, what's up?
They
Trash
can't
is
see
saying
me.
I'm
Hi.
thinking, "Is this the egg?" Like,
Is there
Avon
any
Power.
other preemptive actions happening? Because now Abertac, you're basically at the house at this point as they come running up.
I'm gonna pull my hammer out, and look at them strangely. But I don't look all that concerned, having literally fought demons in hell before that are bigger than these things.
So, at a glance, these folks appear to be a mercenary company. Not one of the biggest, not one of the most well equipped. They are not uniformed, but it is some sort of mercenary company. They don't have a tabard, they don't have a brand, they don't have some sort of insignia to identify them. But you've seen enough mercenaries to know this is a mercenary group. There are disparate people. Most of them look Kothian from what you can kind of see, but you see Nemedians, you see Argosians here. It's kind of weird what all you're seeing, all of these different things. Or I shouldn't say kind of weird. It's pretty normal for looking like a mercenary group. And the one that called out, also about this time, out onto the porch and flooding out from the house is the farmer family. There's a good about 18 of them coming out, most of them not wearing anything remotely resembling armor because they didn't have time for it, but all of them coming out with clubs and spears. A couple of them have helmets, a couple of old swords, bows, various accoutrements of destruction.
They get a pitchfork and torch.
And the Kothian that appears to be in charge says, "Oh no, we lost connection again."
Galema? Yep, the broadcast.
Oh, and we're back up. Okay. All right. And the Kothian that appears to be in charge of them says, as he looks at you, Abertac, "You there. You're Abertac, right?
What's he? Sorry, what?
You there. You're the Abertac one, right?
Hunter of witches.
Hunter of witches.
Of titties.
Excellent. You found your quarry.
I found my what?
You found your quarry. Ophirin is not his native language. Sorry, you don't even speak Ophirin. So
I don't speak Kothian either.
He's yelling out in a bastardized Aquilonian. The bastardized Aquilonian. You found your quarry.
There's not a quarry here. The quarry's back that way.
Your query.
Yes.
Your target.
Yes.
Are they in the house?
No.
Where are they?
Well, the old man was taking a bath in the river, but he had the gems.
What?
You're after the old man, right? The crazy old man in the river.
No, the slaves you were sent to retrieve.
No, the old man's a slave runner. He took the gems.
Then why are you here instead of returning there?
Looking for my friends. Have you seen them? We got separated. There was a woman with the old man. Someone went after her.
He looks confused for a second.
Hey, Chance, I'm going to try to sneak up behind the guy from outside of the.
Oh, jeez.
You could sneak up to the line with a successful check. It'd be difficult to sneak all the way to him because now they've come running out of the field and in front of the house. How many did you refill?
My Basanian archer friend, would you mind helping me stealth?
I can help you, sure.
Yeah,
Well,
go ahead. Sneak
He
together.
can't really help you stealth. He already took all of his arrows out of his pouch and put them on the ground in front of him.
But I could like stuff grass in his hat. Make him a
You can help me
makeshift police.
be less noisy.
Take your armor off.
No.
No.
That would make way too much sense.
As Zhang starts very loudly sneaking.
I'm gonna spend a point of fortune.
And
Fade
yet
into the
somehow
crystal.
slips and trips into a pile of mud, which cakes itself into the creases and crevices of his armor and darkens him. It's not all mud, though.
Yo,
Ew.
course it's not.
Some of it's people.
It is a farm. That manure is used.
Search the house. Search the barns. Search the silo.
Call the locksmith.
Oh, damn it.
At this point, the old man in the farm says, "You go any further on my land, and you'll have to do a lot more than searching for your own men. You got no right to be here. This is my land." As the Kothian captain looks around and goes, "I see a handful of farmers and homesteaders in front of me, and an army behind me, sir. Don't care what you see. Don't care what you see." And the Kothians looks at one more time. "So, tack.
Tic-tac.
Tack. One last opportunity to admit where they are or join them."
Are you threatening me?
Are you failing to uphold your
I have no debt to
mission?
you. And I have no mission to uphold to you. If anybody has business with me, I thump my hammer on the ground. Let's come talk. Otherwise, you can get out of my way.
So you are declaring that the target of your hunt is not here.
What's it to you?
We were sent to support you,
Oh, well, I wasn't informed about anything
just
like
in
that.
case it was
I
dangerous.
don't think I owe you any information. So again, either pull your weapon and get in front of me or get out of my way.
Very good. And at this point, we would say roll for initiative if Conan had initiative, but it doesn't, and the heroes always
Is he
go
on a
first.
horse?
Huh?
Is he on a horse?
No, they're all on foot. They're all like tucked down low.
All right, so, sorry, what's Bill's character's name?
Ornicius.
Dornitius.
Dornitius, take him down. And then.
Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I'm going to refill my drink before we begin the combat dice rolling. Because I'm thirsty, and I ran out of tall glasses because I didn't do dishes today. So I've got to do a little glass and only get half drinks. Be right back.
Y'all mind if I go first? I might be able to distract them a little bit.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Are you going to do flash them?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I see.
If that flash should happen to catch some grass on fire, that would be awesome too.
Since I'm at the line in another location, I will seek to break a hole in it just in case.
I break a hole. You mean stabby a few people.
Yeah.
what I do.
Assassin's gonna assess.
Right?
I think Assassin's Gonna Sass would have been funnier.
But I'm not a assassin.
Aren't you,
Apparently, she's a double ass assassin.
She has two asses?
One ass inside, in another ass.
Well, you know what they say about
That's
assassins? They make an ass out of you and me. Oh wait, shit, wrong thing.
Is it though?
And sorry for that brief distraction. I'm just thirsty, and I literally only haven't had any time to sit down to myself yet. So, here we go. Party gets to go first, because heroes always go first in Conan. Unless they choose to hold their action. It's pretty obvious to you guys that these mercenaries are willing and raring to fight and are now about to charge in.
So, I'm gonna go first, using my was it heed my words, coupled with a nice little flashbang, to announce my presence from behind them, hopefully to help scare the stuffing out of them.
Flashbang, huh? Those things could start fires, right?
Nope.
Wait. Yes, I can.
I'm not gonna set everyone on fire.
Why not?
I mean, if you want them to set fire, theoretically they could, but they're not meant to.
It's very.
I mean, I would assume a flashbang has the potential to start a fire.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to set.
It might not be a guaranteed, but I would assume it at least has the potential to start a fire.
Wait, I do want to set the rest. I wonder if a river is doubling. If you have a river right.
So I announce my presence with a flashbang and shout very menacingly, "Take heed, mortals, and flee whilst your souls can bear it."
Oh no, it's the warlock! He found us!
Well, roll your mental attack roll.
Oh, that's a lot of successes.
Uh-huh.
That's
So that's
four
command.
successes, correctly?
That's four successes. Four successes.
Not bad.
Generating the party 3 momentum.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay, roll. Who did you direct this at? Just one of the mooks in the back?
No, I'm aiming at the leader of the party
Okay.
and surrounding him.
Okay. Roll for damage.
Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, plus 3 conditions.
Roll that terrifying beam footage.
With
No,
area and stun qualities.
and piercing.
We need to put this. We need to make a section for in the gear for mental attacks. I'll add that on maybe this week. All right, that's a 5, a 5, a 5, a 2, a 1, and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points of damage. 3 of them being effects. Effects being area, meaning 4 guys are affected by this, not just 1. Also, quality stun. So 4 guys, including the captain. Ooh, actually, I get to roll a resistance check for this one.
Reminder, it is piercing. So 1 against his resistance,
So his mental defense.
mental defenses.
One of the 5 or one of the 4 is able to not get stunned by the blast. Of the 7 points of damage, mental damage doesn't matter because 3 of the 4, the 3 minions, that's more than 5 points in a single strike. They don't have any resolve soak. They take a mental injury. They crap their pants and run. The 4th one being the commander, he doesn't crap his pants and run, but he is stunned and looking very visibly shaken.
And then he sprouts.
And that is my
arrows.
turn.
And then he becomes a tree. Tink, tink, tink.
So I'm gonna
So,
use.
Bill, what exactly do you
Sure.
do? In
Yeah,
detail,
I'm gonna-
please.
I'm going to take some of that momentum and use it toward my attack.
Why not use fortune?
Huh?
Why not use fortune?
I don't need fortune. Not now.
So,
Later.
You heard that, right? He doesn't need fortune.
please describe the actions that you're taking.
Yes, I gotta. I'm trying to.
Is this the time where we look up volley again?
Volley, hail of arrows, marksman, quick release, shoot for the horizon, all of it.
All of it. Yes, all of it.
Because they're at long distance.
Well, it's kind of
Okay,
tradition.
because they just got past me.
They went past you. Well, you're not.
Forward.
Yeah, they're at long distance from you. The commander especially, because he's by the house, and you were like a ways away in the hills hiding.
Okay.
So long distance, maybe even very long distance.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use.
So you're shooting your bow, right?
Yep. Shooting my bow.
Are you using any special abilities when shooting your bow?
Yes, sir.
Which
Wait.
one or which ones?
All of them.
No.
The only one I don't have is trick shot, I think. Hail of arrows.
When you attempt a ranged attack with a weapon that has the volley quality, you can spend a load to use the secondary target momentum for a cost of a single momentum instead of 2.
Right.
So you can pick 2 targets. Okay.
I'm gonna use. Actually, I'm gonna use. If you guys don't mind, I'm gonna use 2 momentum if I can.
Party has 3 already.
Yeah. Marksman. Range attacks with precision. You may spend a minor action before attempting a ranged attack. A little more time. Nah, don't need that one. Quick release. I'm going to use quick release and shoot for the horizon.
Quick release, quick release, and hail of arrows both, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right. So when using a ranged weapon with the volley quality, you may spend a minor action to increase your rate of attack, allowing you to spend 2 loads of arrows and giving you a bonus die 20 and a +1 damage dice for each load spent. So you're planning on using 3 loads of arrows,
3 loads of arrows.
2 points of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you get a secondary target and 2 bonus die 20 on your attack roll.
Oh, so one
2.
more.
Yeah, roll one more. That's 2 more successes, and one of them I think is a critical. 3 is a
20
critical.
is a critical failure, not a critical success.
Yeah, but the 3 is a critical.
But 3 is a critical success. Yes. Actually, let me double check that, but I assume so. Well, that's not it. This one. Skills ranged 16 and 4. Yep. Okay. So 4 successes and a complication. 4 successes and a complication.
Can I re-roll? I can re-roll that one.
Can you? When making a ranged attack, you can reroll damage dice equal to the amount of ranged talents.
Okay. Nice, darn it. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see one that allows you to reroll the attack dice itself, though.
All right. Yeah, you're right. My bad.
So 4 successes and a complication, meaning you spend 2 loads of arrow, or you spend 2 momentum, you gain 3. So the party now has 4 points of momentum. Let's roll for your damage first. So you get 2 extra damage dice from your quick release. The bow itself has 7 damage dice, which brings you to a total of 9 damage dice. And you can also spend momentum on extra points of damage.
I don't think it'll be necessary. I can re-roll the 4s and
1,
5s.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage so far. And yes, you can re-roll some of those. You can re-roll damage dice to be equal to the amount of ranged talents and ranks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You can re-roll up to 5 of them. There are only 3 that didn't deal damage. So the 3, the 4, and the 4. So I would just re-roll the 3.
Yeah, re-roll the 3.
Maybe if you really wanted to re-roll the 1. Okay.
Didn't really help much.
That didn't
You
help at all.
touched the screen.
Just
You-
pointed.
that-
I just
don't-
pointed.
You touched the keyboard?
Don't touch it. You touched
Why
the
would you
screen.
touch the keyboard? Jeez, man.
Yeah,
Don't
roll
you
time.
know never touch the keyboard? You're not allowed. You're not allowed. He rolls a 3, a 4, and a 4. He's like, I can re-roll all 3 of these. Rolls again, gets a 3, a 4, and a 4.
4.
Because you touched it.
That's what you get. But still, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage with piercing, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them piercing, which definitely gets through any armor that he has. So 6 points of damage is a straight up physical injury. Boom, right there. Guess what? This guy now has 2 injuries, and he is a toughened, which means he can handle 2 injuries. 1 mental injury, 1 physical injury. Actually, I'm not certain if they stick. I think they have to get them individually. No, they have to be individually. So he has now a mental injury and a physical injury. Yeah, he is stunned, scared, bleeding, and pincushioned.
And the secondary targets around him?
Oh, you killed somebody.
Okay.
Vera, I think it's time for your stabby come out.
Hi. So I was stealthily at the outer rim of the folk, right?
Yep.
So I'm gonna burst out onto the scene with the giant old greatsword in my hand, and hey, go ahead and take a shot at one of these guys. Try to break a little bit of a hole in here, and try to create a little bit of confusion so that folks are focusing their fire different places, right?
Okay.
So, let's see here. Skills. I need to roll melee. 2d20. Oh, I will melee. Oh, no, that was a success too. Okay, cool. 2 successes.
Yep, that's 2 successes. You generate 1 point of momentum for the party as you stab at a mook.
Die!
Roll on that beautiful damage.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
You're using the Doomslayer 2-handed sword that chat gave you a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
Vicious 1, intense 1.
So 7 dice? Oh,
Yep,
yes.
7 dice worth of damage.
Wow, welcome to my range of damage.
76.
No, not 76. 7 dice 6. Jeez. 1, 2, 3,
76.
4 points of damage.
I
3
can
of them
reroll
being
one. Hang
effect.
on, I can reroll. Hang on. I gotta count.
Just don't do what he did.
Yeah, don't touch the screen.
Melee, when making an attack, roll damage equal to total
cross
melee
the
talents
street,
acquired.
You have 3 melee talents. You can reroll all 3.
So let's see here. 1, 2, 3 to re-roll. Okay. Bill, don't touch my keyboard. Yeah.
Don't roll a 3-3-4.
Oh, I broke it.
Didn't come through.
There it goes.
There it is.
1, 2, 5. 2 out of 3.
Yeah, that's a good reroll. That's a good reroll. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of damage.
There you go.
4 of them effects, vicious 1, which brings you up to 12 points of damage total. So great sword, bad guy, standing there of unawares. Great sword, bad guy. Great sword, bad guy. Great sword, bad guy. Great sword, 2 pieces of bad guy. Great sword, 2 pieces of bad guy. It's like that scene in what was the vampire werewolf movie with Kate Beckinsale?
Underworld.
Underworld, the first Underworld at the very end of the movie where she chops the main guy. She just does like a vampire dash through him with a vertical slice, and then all of a sudden he's like, yeah, you just do a dash through him. Naruto dashed through him, and he goes. The Doomslayer glows yellow in joy.
Can I just take a split
That's
second?
normal.
Can I just take a split second to hug this sword?
The bloody, gory sword that's glowing yellow.
I will wash it later. And me too. I don't care. Right now, I'm going to get all kinds of gory. I'm not done.
There I hugs the glowing yellow sword covered in viscera.
Do you want witches? Because this is how you get witches.
Next.
While he has got the captain looking a different direction, I come out with my 2 great swords, going after the captain.
Going after one of the guys, one of the mooks, or maybe one of the sergeants, or a beastmaster with his dogs, or the dog itself that is an oversized skull-headed dog.
Skull-headed? Wait.
No, save the dogs. They sound cool.
Did I miss this?
No, you did not. The dogs are covered in like extra furs and some sort of scary looking skull helmet muzzle mask.
Oh, okay. They're not literally like reanimated dead dogs or something.
They are not reanimated dead dogs.
Oh, goodness.
He was going to fly into a fury.
Now I was going to have to break out the witch titty slasher.
No, he's still with us.
The Titty Witcher.
Who am I closest to?
You could reach several of them. So if you could reach a mook, a sergeant, a hound master, or a hound.
Can I not hit the captain for some reason?
The captain is a little far away because he was in front of the house by Evertag.
Oh, okay. And what's a mook?
Luke's just a regular guy.
A thug, a grunt, a basic bad guy.
I want the beast master.
Oh, there you go.
The Beast Master.
We need to get our swords out.
Are you going to use a point of momentum so you can get
Yes.
2 attacks?
Yes.
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 That's fine.
Yes.
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 Yes. sir.
Well, roll your first attack. I'm getting too excitable here. I might have to go take some leave. That hurts.
Whoa. Nice.
If it lasts longer than 4 hours, you should probably consult a medical professional.
Yep. Well, you generate 2 points of momentum, putting the party at more than 5, so you have to spend at least one of these points or it goes away. I'd go ahead and just spend them both. Why not?
Yeah. Okay.
Straight up points of damage on a Beastmaster, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do it. Roll for damage.
7d6. Right.
Your swords are 5d6.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just automatic points of damage.
Oh. Okay.
Yep, 5d6 plus 2 straight points of damage.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4 points of damage. 2 of them with piercing 1. So obviously his armor is now negated, even though he was only wearing it. Only had a 1 defense, a 1 soak, which you punch straight through. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 total points of damage, giving him an injury. And because the Beastmasters are toughened, not mooks, he does not die from your first strike, but he is injured and bloody.
You have a second swing.
You have a second attack, though. So, roll your attack rolls.
Roll the attack.
Oh, darn it.
She got all excited
I was
there.
all excited there.
It's probably for the best. It's still 1 point of success, which is enough. Roll for damage. Do you want to use any points of momentum for extra free damage?
Sure.
How many points would you like to use? Just 1, 2, all 4?
I'll do 2.
2 points of party momentum being spent for damage. It's a good thing you used the 2 points. So 2, 3, 4 points of damage plus 2 more. That brings it to 6. One of them armor piercing, which is enough to get through that damage. He takes a second injury, and he gets stabbed in the fucking
Network error.
Oh no!
He
I would look
gets stabbed in the network error?
He gets stabbed in the network error. All right, if you hit reload, it should bring you back in.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not. It's delayed. Nat, I'm afraid your internet is going crazy tonight. Nat, after this session, I want to talk to you for a second. When we're done at the end of the session.
About the internet?
Oh, wait, Chance.
Yeah.
Quick question for you. Do you
Uh-huh.
have the ability to transfer something from my sheet to someone else's sheet?
It's called copy and paste.
Yeah, I've got all of the sheets. Yeah.
I made a helpful little table chart thing for Bill to use for when he wants to use a ranged attack.
Thank you.
It's in my notes section.
Oh, the talent cost requirement effect, Hail of Arrows, quick release stuff.
Yep.
He's got it.
I just don't use it. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll show you what he's got here. Bill, do you mind if I kind of copy paste your skills so he can see? Like,
Looks like we're up.
there. Oh, are we up? Are we up again? Okay, so yeah, Zhang, you can see what I've got on this chart. It's just like
I made it something so that he could see like the costs and what, instead of having to read each, this is what it does and try to remember that for everything. You need to just quickly look at this chart and say, oh, this can't be used with this, but this is what it costs.
that's a good idea. I could rewrite the sheet to show that better, come to think of it.
Would you mind sending him that thing and see if it's at all helpful for him?
Yeah. Copy. Thornicius. Thornicius, on your notes page, you will now see a couple more screens there, a couple more tables there to the right on your notes page.
Ah, yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yep, that's what Mike just wrote for you. But that's actually a really good suggestion for me to add to my template, adding a cost section to those abilities.
That's it. him touching my computer again?
Yeah, okay. Whenever I get around to next time I update the character sheet, I'll add a cost because that's a good suggestion. Right, Nat? It's going crazy. I want to talk after this session is over. I want to talk to you for just a second. I got a couple of questions for you. But here we go. Back now. Everybody has now gone. Right? Nope. Everybody's gone. We're not worried about Abertac. He's not gonna go. He's just standing there with his hammer.
Nope. So now this guy is badly injured. His troops are falling apart. Because Abertac is sometimes nicer than he ought to be, he does respect the bright gods, and if he wants their favor when combating the darkness, sometimes he's probably nicer than he needs to be, especially in a world like this. Nevertheless, he's going to give this guy a chance to reconsider before he dies.
So what do you do exactly?
What do you say?
I'm giving you a chance to reconsider before I kill you.
That would be a mental attack. You would need to give him at least one more mental energy or reduce his resolve to 0.
I mean, he doesn't really have the stats for that. He's just, he has to offer him the opportunity. If he takes it, fine. If he doesn't, he's not particularly like try. I mean, I don't have the.
How about this? Roll me an insight check.
No, that I have. I mean, someone better than 50-50 anyway.
That is a nice roll.
That's 4 successes on insight. So as your character is trying to give him an option, you study him for a moment while everything is happening. You see his immediate reaction, see how he came at the family. And you note a couple of things that you can kind of tell just from reading his body language and the way he approached. And the first thing is, he was pleased that he got to fight you. He was pleased that he was being allowed to murder you instead of to let you go. He appears to be following directions, following instructions. He knew your name. He knew your mission. He was sent here explicitly. You can tell just from the way he talked to you. He was sent here explicitly to make certain you didn't lose your nerve. And if you did, to kill you.
Very well. I will try and...
As of 5 seconds ago, he was very cocky and ready to do it.
I will chalk him up as unsalvageable. And I will... We have how many momentum remaining? 2, is this accurate?
Yeah.
2 points of momentum remaining.
All right. I will spend... And my... What is it? Deft Blade talent. I actually get 2 from it.
Oh, Deft Blade. Abertac abilities. Deft Blade. You wield a blade as if it. Why is that? That's a weird formatting.
Because I copied it. I usually copy them right out of the book and I paste them that way.
Oh, I see. Okay. As if it were an extension of your arm, any momentum spit or points added to Doom, add bonus die 20s to the melee test. Add 2 dice instead of 1, although the normal limit of 3 bonus die 20s still apply. So how many points of momentum are you using? Just 1?
Just the 1.
All right, so you get to roll 4 attack dice. With your melee skill of 14 and your focus of 3, that would be generating 3 points of momentum.
Wait, he needed 2 to get hit the guy?
No, he got 4 successes. Oh, wait, you're right. That is 5 successes.
He got 5 successes.
He got 5 successes. As obviously this bad guy is going to attempt to parry it, I'm going to spend a point of doom as he attempts to parry. Roll 2d20 less than 14. He got 2 successes. 2 does not beat 5. But it does mean that you only generated 3 points of momentum, not 5.
All right. So I'm going to spend 1 for Blood on Steel to increase the vicious quality by 1 of my weapon.
Oh, your weapon already has vicious 2.
Yep.
Oh,
Vicious
oh
3.
God. Oh, I don't even want to. Oh, roll the damage.
Oh, I'm not been spending momentum yet.
Huh?
The rest of us.
I have 2 that I just got from the hit. So I will immediately spend 1 more. I spent 1 for vicious 2 and another one for just 1 point of penetration. And then I will roll.
I don't even want to see it. I don't want to see it.
14 roll.
4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4,
Right.
4, 3, 3.
That would be me.
Point of damage with effect. Point of damage with effect. Point of damage. 2 points of damage. Point of damage with effect.
And I can roll that that 4 over again.
Okay.
Is a 3 a success? Or do I-
No.
Okay, never mind. Still.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points of damage. 3 of them effects, which each give you 3 more points of damage. So that would be 15 points of damage.
I do, you know.
So here we go. Now, excuse me for 1 second. As he just kind of flops his hammer up, because he was leaning on it, he just kind of kicks it up. And then he does one of those like superhero whoosh, whoosh, swing, 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 whoosh, whoosh. He spins, he ducks, he dives, he twirls it around his fingers once or twice, and then he twirls it around his other fingers once or twice, and then it goes behind the back, and then it goes through the leg, and then it goes up, over, and down for an overhand bash straight downward into this guy's helmet
Bad guy
and
shit.
his skull and his head and his neck and his collarbs and through his ribs, and it makes it all the way down into his belly from an overhead swing before it finally stops its downward plunge.
Next!
Next.
I
Anyone
think he's
else?
still
This character
switching.
wasn't even
Who's
supposed
in
to
charge
be a warrior.
now?
Yeah, where's the next captain?
Yeah. Step
His
up.
melee stat is 11.
No, his melee stat's 14.
I could have sworn it was 11. But
14 and
still
3.
not very high.
14 is really good.
14 is very good.
Okay,
Even
fair.
if it was 11, he still got all of them.
Yeah.
And now it's the farmer's family turn because allies go second.
It'll take me thousands of fees to improve that one more health.
Yeah.
How many of them
I
have we
sure
killed
hope
so
this
far?
farmer was prolific. He got a lot of kin.
Spend. What is the base?
How many have died so far? For captain and one more. How many others?
7.
7 have died so far? Okay.
I think it is coordination.
Whoops.
I'm not really listening to that, so.
10 successes, 2 complications from the children and the family. Another handful of folks die.
Do I hear a retreat, retreat, retreat? They got nobody.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the leader is dead, which throws the whole thing in disarray, hopefully.
Yeah. Yep. The Beastmasters let go of the dogs. The dogs charged forth. The Beastmasters let go of the dogs because they are running. So are the sergeants. So are the mooks. Shit just went south real fast. It's an ambush! They were waiting for us! Run for your lives!
Even though it's less than
Run
that.
for your life! Dum, 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 dum. For good measure.
You so you're shooting your bow at them as they're running?
Nah, I'm not gonna worry about it. Just gonna let them go and go collect my arrows.
Abertek, you were the only one close enough to hear the farmer father call out to his family, "Don't let a single one of them leave this farm alive."
Oh, damn.
I hope he doesn't mean us. Oh, I'll make sure he knows. I'll be like, hey, no, the guy with the bow and the guy with the flash powder, they're with me.
Don't kill them, please. Please.
Yeah, no, not them. I wouldn't get in their way. Oh, and the lady. Oh, no, she's here already. Never mind.
And the rest of the family goes running forth, charging after all of the fleeing folks. Some of them shooting bows, most of them just trying to chase them down.
Well, I'm gonna join in the fun. Can I get a few shots in?
Yeah, you get a few shots in.
Okay.
A little bit of time goes by. You have no idea how successful they're going to be, but a couple of minutes go by. What do you do, party?
Oh, look at
Yes,
this.
I'm gonna
The leader had any orders, paper orders or anything on him.
Okay,
Should we-
observation check as you search the body.
Well,
What's left of the
I
body?
depend on my friends to observe things, to point me at the enemies. Let's see.
Let me help him with that.
Oh, I actually got a couple successes. All right.
2 successes as you
Nothing
search
right.
the body. He's got a couple of gold coins on him. He's got
Well,
his
those go
gear,
to
his
my-
equipment,
Those
personal
go into my
effects.
fund for buying gems from slaves.
He's got like 5 gold coins on him worth of currency. But you don't find any written instructions or directions.
I doubted I would. I doubt he was literate. Look at Vera and I tell him like, I got the feeling this guy, somebody thought we might not bring the slaves back. This guy was sent here to mop us up afterwards. I'm not sure we should go back to that mine.
Did anybody?
Yeah, that's the question, I guess. So the boy essentially, which we were trying to ingratiate ourselves with in order to get an in at the Capitol, he's still there.
I'm not sure that all that's worth all this.
We need troops.
You know
Yeah,
what?
but we're likely to find a whole lot waiting for us if we go back there. I'm not sure they're going to be very friendly, though.
Hey guys, I really don't think they can identify any of the people we just took apart. Like, we just need to take 2 bodies back and some gems.
You're a fucking genius. I mean, we have.
They did give you a verbal description of the 2 slaves.
Well, here's the real question, and don't. What is the nationality of the guy that he pasted?
Kothian,
Skin tone?
pretty similar to Ophirin.
And that's the same as the slaves.
I don't think I ever defined the ethnicity of the slaves, but
Yeah, no way to reach assumptions.
That's
yeah, they're kind of an Ophirin mix.
Where are I? Do you have a chance of picking locks?
Picking locks.
Yeah. Like the ones on their chain ankles, so that we can put them on the ankles of these guys.
Why don't we just chop off their
Ankles.
feet?
The slave's feet?
Yes.
No, not
Yeah, I mean, I do think it would be pretty hard to explain why we brought them back in this kind of shape.
To use his stabby.
They decided to fight for their lives.
And so we took them apart molecule by molecule.
I mean, this is generally
Yeah,
how
they're
our
just
enemies look after we've fought them. So
Okay.
yes.
So I would
Intimidation
recommend
tactics.
something like scalping a couple of these corpses if they have hair that are similar to like what it is we're trying to represent the slaves. Noting full well we're not carrying back full bodies, so partial bodies or something like that, some sort of token to symbolize that we achieved our goal. Ears may work, right? They're not going to be able to like fingerprint ears, right? Something like that, like some scalps or something.
They aren't going to be able to fingerprint fingers.
What if
Not
we want
for
to cut off?
1,000 years.
Like I'm saying, they're not going to be able to identify those types of things as long as we're not taking back full heads if they can identify their own soldiers, right?
Trophies of the dead plus the gems.
Exactly.
Okay.
As long as
I'm gonna-
all of their soldiers none of their soldiers make it back, we should be okay.
I want to take the farmer aside and tell him, like, I appreciate what he's doing here, but this gig might be up here. Like, if these people sent word that they thought this is where,
They were coming.
especially if there was any suspicion at all in the area that you were part of this railroad, like, I'm not going to tell him what to do, and I can't force him to do anything, but
I mean, you can force him to do pretty much anything at this point.
not really, no, because, I mean, he's going to die either way, obviously, if I don't want.
It's okay. Skyne's got this.
All right.
He'll lead them all to safety. Lay down on this nice block of stone so that we may free you from
Alright.
your corpse.
I want to say, so earlier today I said you almost surprised me in an action that I didn't predict at all. And here in the last little bit, you have come so close to that same action again without realizing it.
I'm afraid.
Something about Skyne, maybe.
I didn't predict it, but I love the idea all of a sudden.
Which is never good for us.
I will tell Sky the same thing, though, that, despite their best efforts, like, it doesn't help anybody to maintain. Obviously, he's a pro at doing this, and he has to know that once the location's been compromised.
Skeen is, he is very grateful for what you've done. You've shown your true colors. You've protected these innocent folks. You are truly a friend of the refugees of the cult of Solopetha. You are truly a friend, and you have the deepest respect of the cult. He asks, would you be willing to do one more thing?
What is it?
He reaches into his robes and pulls out a small blue glass crescent sun shaped artifact. It's blue, but there's almost a like purplish haze inside of it, like there's a purple fog inside of the blue glass.
Ooh, shiny object again.
No touching. No touching. No touching.
And he says, if you're returning to the mine, would you leave this there?
Does my pierce the veil trigger on this?
Abilities. Pierce the veil. What's pierce the veil?
It's
He can recognize magical items or items that have been.
I don't. Oh, there it is. Sorry. You have an knack for recognizing the subtle cues of whenever you're in the presence of supernatural, particularly in the magic call if you attempt an insight. Roll an insight.
Don't fuck up.
Don't like you.
I mean, your insight's pretty solid. Oh yeah. That would be
Really
3
solid.
successes.
I'm really lucky tonight.
He looks through the veil
So,
and then through.
As
the-
you're studying this and studying him, the odd thing is he doesn't come across to you as supernatural at all. He doesn't seem like someone that has sold his soul for supernatural, otherworldly entity power, which is unexpected, being a cultist and robed and all of these things.
Well, I have to assume that most cultists, in fact, aren't supernatural. They're
Right.
deluded.
What he's handing you is definitely of another realm. 110% of something not of this world.
I'm telling him I don't know that we're going back. But if we do, I can leave him a present for you.
Sure, we'll take this nuke from you.
If you could take this and leave it there as close to or even in their dormitories, their barracks, wherever the guards sleep, you would be doing an incredible favor.
I know a guy who's pretty sneaky, actually. A lady who's pretty sneaky.
Actually, I get along with barracks guys really good.
He says, I wouldn't keep it with you for too long.
I get that feeling. Well, I already told him what I had to say about maybe this location's compromised. I really can't do anything other than that.
So he after the fight that just happened, you do notice, especially with that insight check, that his demeanor has changed a little bit from being hopeful of you to like he seems compatriot with you, almost like supportive, friendly, not necessarily like peer, but like he no longer has reservations that you are that in your being able to and willing to help his stated mission here.
Does he have a token of some kind that I can show to other members of his group that will vouch for me?
He says that he does not, but your deeds and actions will echo through the whole cult.
All right. Well, hopefully he will make wise decisions about whether or not to continue using this spot on his railroad. And I will go and find Farai and talk with Farai about sneaking this dubious alchemical concoction device thing into some dormitories or barracks.
If you want to convince him that it is an alchemical concoction, I'm going to need a persuade check.
Oh. I did not mean. Let me try this again. This somewhat mysterious, clearly occult, perhaps magical in the sense of alchemy. I didn't mean it with the distinction there.
He hands you, or holds out to hand you, a glass about the size of a hand, in the shape of a crescent sun, blue glass, like marbled glass, with purpley, foggy, kind of sparkly. Like it's kind of uncomfortable to touch almost.
Let's all talk about this together, maybe, but I'm just going to tell him what they want us to do for now.
So you want me to take this vial of something awful?
Oh, I don't.
It's not a vial. There's no tube. There's no nozzle. It's like a marble, only a marble that's in the shape of a crescent sun.
I don't know that I want you to do that yet. This is for us to discuss.
Oh, dude. What?
So
All right.
let's.
Are we going to discuss it then? Are we like heading out then, or?
Well, this is for us to talk about like later, but I'm just sort of telling Vera the gist of it now. And hey, we'll talk about it on the road or something because I have misgivings.
The group rounds up together.
Vera might remember that like one of our very first adventures, we found some magical item and like Abertak was like, "Oh yes, I'll take good care of it," and then basically took it to the Temple of Mitra and threw it in the fire. So just because he took it from that guy doesn't necessarily like Vera wouldn't necessarily think he's going to use it, but it also kind of depends on what kind of magic it is, and I haven't had a chance to study it very closely.
Okay, so we have trophies from some of our slaves.
You have a couple of proof of death trophies. You have the gems.
Do we have confirmation from the kids that they got them all?
Every now and then you hear a scream in the distance still.
Can we do an observation check as we're leaving to see if there are any like stray footprints?
Yeah, you could have your ranger try to look around. It would take some time to do a good circle around the whole place, though.
Well, I mean, especially as we're like getting beyond like the range of all the kids and all that stuff. We definitely want to see if there are any other footprints heading back in the direction of the mine that might have been things like scouts.
Well, considering there were at least 30 folks that started running, and there's only 10 or 15 of the family.
Yeah, we can assume that we're going to get back to internet network there. We can assume. Okay, I just had to refresh. We can assume that some of them got back. So even if we do get back there, the jig probably will be up. Cool.
Maybe.
Okay.
A lot of things can happen between here and there.
Even if the mercenaries do make it back, I mean,
who's gonna believe them?
Food for thought as we make our way back and we formulate a plan. We have all of the pieces together to come up with a plan. Now we just need to.
Now we're back up. Okay.
Yep. Now we're back. So as I guess we have all the pieces to a plan, so we will just make our way back towards the mine then and kind of formulate that plan and have discussions, evaluate the things that we've got. Seems to be the way forward at this time, right?
Yeah.
Way
Before
forward.
we leave, I'm going to search around, find any arrows that got dropped, or pick up my arrows so I have.
Roll 3d6 because you used 3 loads. And 2 of those 3 loads are expired.
Oh.
Expended.
Okay, so I have 3 total.
Yep. Of your 5, you now have 3.
Yeah. Did any of them drop arrows?
I mean, if you want to spend some time looting arrows, yeah, you could replace those a couple of loads.
Yeah, I'll replace them if I can.
All right, we'll call that good. We'll say you replaced the loads that you lost on the ground. You were able to find enough quivers.
You may not want, if we're trying to go back and infiltrate that mine, you may not want to keep your quiver on you, because if you're taking their arrows with us, it's going to be kind of hard to convince their people that we didn't find their people out in the field.
They're mercenaries. It's highly doubtful that anybody took note of what arrows they were carrying. They're just.
They are mercenaries. They were wearing disparate equipment. They didn't seem to be uniformed.
Yeah.
We'll say all the arrows are engraved, property of mercenary.
Yeah, if they were all elves and they all had elvish arrows, and this guy paid lots of money for elvish arrow, bowmen, then yeah, I would say no, we're not going to carry those in and show him that we have elvish made arrows. But yeah, I don't think an iron-tipped arrow is going to set any alarms off.
All right, just food for thought. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, have we left the place?
Yeah, you've left the place. You're on the road heading back northeastward.
Well, it's more of a day. It's at least a day's journey, right?
Yeah, it's nighttime too.
Okay. So Zhang and I need to talk some shop about this strange device and work together on maybe a sorcery roll to try to figure out exactly what we're dealing with.
Yeah, I would allow a sorcery roll with the support.
I think I should probably be the main roller because my sorcery is the only thing better than my melee.
Yep, beats my 12. So I roll what? 1d20?
Yep, 1d20. Yep.
My highest stat, yet one of the not one rolled a lot.
But when you roll it, it's kind of important.
Yep.
That said, we can both re-roll 1d20.
You know what? Actually, Chance, I'm going to go ahead and use one of my momentum or my fortune on this.
Okay.
Well, I mean, pick the roll.
Do I
first.
still roll?
I mean, yeah, roll.
Okay. 'Cause I don't want to fail this. I got one
Nick.
success.
It's a good
Re-roll
thing you
one
did.
on one of those.
Oh, he lets me re-roll one?
Yes.
I'll re-roll the 16 then. So they're both 15s, but those still successes.
Yep.
So you guys kind of set up camp, off the road a little bit. You're not even that far away from the farm, but you wanted to get a little ways away. You get a nice little cubby out of the way spot that you're camping in. Get a little fire, and Abertak and Zang kind of go tucking their heads together and studying it and holding it up to the fire and holding it up to the moonlight. And what you can tell is when you hold it up to the moonlight, it gets a different color than it kind of should. It turns more purplish and reddish than it does, turning bluish and greenish. And as the more you study and you're kind of like telling stories back and forth, be like, well, I remember in this one child story that I heard, there was a thing like this. Oh, yeah, but I've heard this legend about this other thing that was kind of like that. And with that many successes, what you kind of come up together is that this seems like, as you hold on to it, the later it gets, the longer you're studying this into the night, the more disconcerting it is to hold on to it. The more you begin to question your own confidence, to question your own capabilities, as you hold on to it. And, after an hour or two, you're like, whoa, wait, I know I'm good at this. I know I'm confident at this. Why do I think I'm the worst person ever at this all of a sudden? And you're reminded of a story that you once heard about a Zamoran, where you're from. You once heard a story about a Zamoran dream catcher. And it wasn't in the shape of a crescent sun, but you once heard a story about a Zamoran dream catcher that caused angst, that caused nightmares, that caused an entire village to murder itself and each other over a period of months. Over a period of months. And the descriptions that you did get was blue glass with hints of darkness and inside of it that kind of matches the description here. It's not an exact match, but it kind of sounds similar to a story of a Zamoran village that somebody visited and found that most of the village had pretty much killed itself. And the only thing that they were able to find was a cursed orb, a blue glass orb that sort of resembles this.
No, as much as I hate to betray the trust placed in us by this dude, Abertak is a purist and thinks that this needs to be destroyed. The question is how to do so safely.
The stories didn't tell how it was, if it was destroyed, just that's what they found, and then that's the end of the story.
Yeah, I mean, that's the question. I just want to make sure that everyone agreed, right? So after they've done their powwow in the morning, we'll say, look, Oh, a kitty cat. It's a big cat.
Distracted by cat.
Yes.
Yes.
That I don't think this is mirror smoke and mirrors and flash powder. I think it is sorcery, and that even the most benign use of sorcery, once you sort of opened yourself up to it, it is that is how the outer dark slips into the cracks in your soul, and it will eventually find a way to widen those cracks over time. So unless somebody
Don't listen
disagrees
to
with
it,
me,
Teddy.
As he pats his teddy bear,
right.
the singed, blackened one that he carries on his back.
Don't worry,
I'm pretty
Teddy.
sure
Not talking
that's a curse. That's different than like knowingly employing something that you are sworn to destroy. And so, question is, what do we do with this thing? Because I do think it is hazardous for us to spend much time around it. I also don't know what would happen if we just threw it off a cliff or burned it.
Burning doesn't always work.
Should we
As I glare at
secure
that
it?
teddy bear.
Should we secure it in a barracks?
A barracks of malicious slaver scum.
I am inclined to try to resist its call and destroy it in like at the altar of a temple.
Malevolent slaver scum.
I said
Ideal
yes.
in slavery of the soul, which is much worse. So
Atrocity after atrocity.
he is tempted. He is sorely tempted, more so than maybe he ever thought he would be. But
We can just destroy this and then go kill them in their sleep, if that makes you feel better.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
we don't have too much problems with believing in
the
people's
question- The question is, do we detour back to town to try to like look? Temples aren't usually equipped for this kind of thing, but at least it makes our tech feel a little bit better to just throw it in the holy fire and let the gods sort it out if they choose. At least then it's on them if they don't act.
Backfire on us.
But if we don't want to spend the time doing that, we could try to throw it in the remnants of our campfire. We could, try to throw it up a cliff. I don't
Hit it
want
with
to
a
do.
hammer.
Maybe. What I don't want to do is leave it for some other naive or unfortunate person to find.
Or the slavers.
By destroying it, you could release whatever's inside, and we would be the ones. We would be the victims.
Yeah, that's part of my concern, is that I don't know what will happen if we just
Malevolent,
Just don't bury it. That's how we get cursed forests.
atrocity committing,
Aw. That's exactly.
slave murdering.
I was just thinking, why don't we go back to that pool of water in that oasis where where the lady and the old man were, and we just bury it deep in the water, like underneath the water in the ground?
The beautiful, peaceful oasis.
I say just leave it there for the lady to
To
find.
curse the oasis for all time. And all those who travel there for peace and sanctity.
Meh.
So
Sanity.
I think I'll just tell the rest of the group, go about a mile that way or half a mile that way so you can still see me, but I'm gonna try to destroy it.
5 minutes
It's
later,
good knowing you.
a mushroom cloud extends over top of the plains.
This is how you curse your hammer.
Well, that's the least of my concerns.
Yeah, I bet it is. Okay, yeah, I'll get a respectable distance away.
So everybody takes a good distance away from him as he says he's going to destroy it, rather than dropping it off in the barracks of the atrocity committing, slave raping guards.
That just means I have to get my hands dirty as opposed to dropping an artifact and peace outing.
So, after they're
Bill, April, Zhang.
I'll try to talk him out of it, but he is a
Talk him out of
He's
it then.
a
If you
zealot.
think.
He is
No,
a zealot.
he does what he wants to do with these relics. He's the witch hunter. I'm just not going to be within the fallout zone.
Bill, do you try to talk him out of it?
I mean, really, the slavers do. Yeah, let's try and talk him out of it. Like, let's try and talk him out of it. Sure. I'm not very good at this, though.
So
He specializes in these things. I specialize in killing things. You specialize in sniping them with an arrow. He specializes in these things.
talk.
But
Player to player.
I say let them get what they deserve. Honestly, like it's not going to affect us in any way. I mean, if this thing really does cause them to wipe each other out, then all that happens really is that the old family will just move back into the mine and take over, and then our new buddy will cut another deal, and probably a better deal.
That bad people have bad things happen to them.
Yeah.
Can I play devil's advocate here? No pun intended. So there are also slaves sleeping at that mine, correct?
The slaves are nowhere, like they are held at a different part of it than in the barracks.
Okay. So then in that case, even if the slaves aren't affected, once this batch of people are killed off or kill each other off, then it is discovered that this malevolent orb of doom is there. Then what? We're going to be long gone. Whose hands is it going to fall into? Or is it not going to be found? And then the innocent after effects happen.
I mean, theoretically, the cult of Solopeta.
I want to remind Thornicius of the time that we were near the river with bubbles of blood floating at us from a dark cloud sky and blood lightning coming down at us. And
Theoretically, the cult of Solopetha would know this artifact is going there.
That if the outer dark has its way, that benighted place where the clouds cover the sky with an endless storm and bubbles of blood float around and explode and lightning
Cats and dogs living together.
That's what the whole world will look like if the outer dark has its way. And each little thing like this pries that door open a little bit more.
What if it is actually a good guy getting vengeance?
We triumphed that time with good, honest steel.
But
we will triumph again this time.
What if, like I said, it was a good God trying to get righteous vengeance for
and furious anger on those who would seek to poison and destroy his brothers?
I say sometimes you got to fight fire with fire.
That's what we're for.
We're but only 5 people.
It's but only one marble.
Yes. But apparently it does a hell of a better job than we do.
Okay, get down the road before you get affected by this. I can already see it tempting you.
Do you continue to try to talk him otherwise, or do you get down the road as he places it upon the ground?
I look at Xenia like, gonna help a brother out here?
What's your opinion, Xenia?
I wash my hands of this.
I mean, it could go either way. That's the thing. Like,
bad things to bad people, atrocity committing slavers that deserve only bad things.
They can get all the bad things in the night. That's what we're for.
So why aren't we taking it there? What is our fear?
Some weird, dark Solopethophile told us to take it there and to trust him, bro. Which I do none of those things. So we can go kill that battery of slavers. I've got no reservations about killing those slavers. I'm a little hesitant about carrying dark magic. Teddy aside, I'm a little hesitant about carrying dark magic forward.
We gotta keep Teddy safe. Teddy's got to stay safe.
Earmuffs, Teddy. Earmuffs.
Why doesn't Abertac invite the person that told him to take it there outside with him just to see how a pretty sunset?
Skeen, the cultist, asked him to, and completely just didn't force him, didn't try to demand it. Asked.
Why did you even accept it?
Because if we decided to destroy it, it would be better than somebody else using it. Better off in the hands of people who will get rid of it.
I mean, that guy was setting slaves free. I would say it was in his good hands.
But here's the curious thing. I didn't get, that tingle I get when witches are about? I didn't get that from him. I think he received this from a superior of some kind.
And we at least also got it away from the innocent slaves that were accompanying him and sleeping around it and him.
It's possible, because I thought about that. It's possible that there's some kind of activation phrase or something that makes it go, and that he did it before he gave it to us. Because otherwise, I don't see how it couldn't have affected even the farmers and the family there. So
like Abertacadabra?
The Abertacabra.
Nice of him to activate it before he gave it to us instead of telling us how to activate it before we placed it there to do its thing.
He did. So you are less than a full day away from the mine, and he did say, "I don't recommend keeping this with you for too long."
Yeah,
Right.
and I'm just that's just a guess, right? So unless somebody's going to physically stop me from destroying it, I recommend you get down the road a piece. All right.
It's on you, brother. Come out.
So once people are out of range,
they all walk away.
He holds it like above, like the remains of the campfire, and says, "Look, Mitra, Isis, Ishtar, all the bright gods, just help me eliminate this blight so that we can keep the world from being destroyed a little bit for another day at least." He'll throw the remnants of the fire and bring his hammer down on it.
Roll me an attack roll.
It dodges.
It dodges.
Roll me damage. And I think in this case you don't want effects.
Well, you can re-roll any dice, right? So re-roll.
Well, Abertac doesn't know what he does and doesn't want or need here, so he'll take what he rolls.
It's not like he can.
Kiss your armor goodbye once more.
He's got more than one weapon. If he didn't want smashing, he has a great sword still, but he'll take what he gets.
It smashes. It smashes into 1,000 crystalline dust pieces. As you smash it, you feel the greatest despair you've ever felt in your life, even more so than when you took your injuries to become a witch hunter in that fateful battle. You feel like all of the despair you've ever experienced in your entire life, and it's all because of you. You are causing your own despair. It is your fault. Everything that has happened is because of you. The loss of all of these lives. So many of these people would still be alive if it wasn't for you. And you can still hear the dying screams of all of the people that you have snuffed their life forces out for just that brief instant as you're smashing this device. And as a breeze blows and blows the dust and smoke away, so too does the feelings, but you can't help but feel a little weaker for it. Feel a little more indetermined for it. It just lingers there just a little bit.
No one comes away from the path of the witch hunter without their soul being a little scarred and torn. It's just a matter of how long you can make it. So he puts his mask on and shoulders his hammer and turns back towards his party. But doesn't speak really for the rest of the day.
And with that, we will call it for the evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be calling it here. Now, next week, we will not be available. We will be taking a week off next week. And then when we return, instead of being in lovely Denver, I will be in exciting Nashville. So tomorrow, though, we do return once again to Barovia at 8 p.m. Tennessee, where the group will end up debating for another 2 hours about what to do next. Obviously, rather than doing something, they'll just talk about doing something. Thursday at 8:30 p.m., the screams are silent in space as we return to the Aliens universe for Season 2 on Thursday. Friday, 6:30 p.m. with Simon and our AI, GM and Cookies. Sunday at 9 p.m., we will be searching Umu in the Tomb of Annihilation. Monday, we rejoin the cast of Solar Patrol! Solar Patrol!
Solar Pepper?
At 8:30 p.m. And again, we will not have Conan next week, but we will be returning the week after that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Good night.
At the bars.
Bonsoir.
Wait, how much? And I $14.